Hello and welcome to Ask Dr. Monica. This space is dedicated to you if you choose to use your daily life as your spiritual path, as your spiritual practice. Everything that happens in our life, every experience that we have, has a meaning for you to enjoy life or for you to grow, expand, and become more of who you truly are. That's my belief, my approach, and in that way life becomes really, really sacred. So I appreciate all the questions and comments that I receive from you. I would love to, keep doing it, keep sharing, keep asking. I think that there is no better example or inspiration to learn how to engage with our daily experiences. Anything that happens in our lives is an opportunity for us to learn and to grow, or to simply celebrate and enjoy. So let's see what we can do this week. So this week I chose a question, a comment here that is a woman that shares something about sexuality here. So let's see how we approach this. But she's saying, my partner is demanding me more sex than what I am willing to give. When I give myself, in quotes, I experience a sense of repulsion that keeps me far and far away from my partner. Well, the first thing that I would like us to do is to put ourselves in the shoes of this woman, okay? To check in yourself if you have never went through something like that or heard about it, with the intention really to open up the compassion that we are really somewhere in our heart, deep heart. We know that all these frustrations and pains that she can have, instead of feeling closer to the partner, she's feeling more and more apart, are meant to teach us something. So with all this deep understanding and compassion for our human journey, for our awakening journey, I would like to approach this question from different aspects, and maybe take us a little more than just one episode, but I think there is a lot of opportunity here to understand where do we come from, and how we can transcend that, okay? So let's engage with this experience here from the perspective of what I call the unconscious feminine, meaning that when we are not awake yet and you don't know who you are and you are disconnected from yourself, capital letters, from your inner beingness, okay, your entire life shows up as what I will call survival mode. It's like you are not connected, you are not fulfilled, you are not at peace, you don't know who you are, so you reach out and you think that the outside world is going to give you what you need, okay? Something that never happened. Normally the outside world is giving you what you already have gave to yourself, or what you are comfortable with receiving, meaning you have to be familiar with that, okay? So in this case, to me, I would like to understand that we come out from this unconsciousness, let's say, with a lot of programming inside. And intimate relationships, okay, are going to knock the door to your deepest, let's say, intimacy, to your deepest side of yourself, something that maybe not everybody sees. In the intimate relationship, we can understand that the routine on every day, the commitment that you have one with another, etc., brings up patterns and conditioning from the past, let's say, that are very limiting, and that if you are not conscious or aware, you are going to act out automatically. So in this case, to put myself in the shoes of this woman, the first thing that I feel is a lot of compassion for that aspect, okay, that will please, in quote, someone, my husband, my partner, whatever it is, from a place of, not really true. I am not really enjoying, I am not really giving myself in any way, even though I surrender to the will of my partner here, let's say. Well, the thing is, I am not being loyal to myself. And that, you can call it abusive, meaning that you're abusing yourself. You're really doing something that is not pleasant to you, is not in alignment to you. Now, compassion, where that comes from. So why do we do that? So if we put ourselves in the shoes of this woman, or this aspect of ourselves, let's say, and we can understand compassionately, okay, that we are educated that way. We are very dependent on the outside, and for the unconscious feminine is something that I want to highlight for all of us here to understand deeply, okay? The unconscious feminine, or the deepest wound of the feminine lowercase, okay, is to feel rejected or abandoned, or to say no. Really, it's very difficult for the unconscious feminine to say no, because the risk is, again, to experience loneliness, abandonment, rejection, all these painful experiences that we have as a consequence of not knowing who we truly are yet. So we keep generating and fabricating here situations where we are going to feel separated from something, someone, without saying, feeling separated from source, from your beingness, from your magnificence, So with all the compassion, okay, that we can express here, to understand that with this attitude that, yes, I gave myself here and there, but, I keep building up a sense of repulsion, that is not attractive, and I feel more and more distant to my partner. That's what she says here. This giving myself, is what burns out this woman, because you are doing something that is not in alignment. Now, with this, you survive. I'm pretty sure that you could manage, and you can manage your marriage or your relationship or whatever it is. You survive, but you will never thrive. And I'm saying this, and today we focus on the conscious, unconscious, and conscious feminine, to really understand the journey. When you start to become conscious, feminine, of your own femininity, of your own feminine essence, of the value, sacredness, and wholeness of your entire being expressed as a woman in this feminine female body, let's say, you start to honor that. And you cannot have an intimate relationship with your partner deeper than the intimate relationship that you have with yourself. So for a woman in this case to journey from being unconscious and reacting this way, doing things, offering her body when she doesn't want really, and trying to put band-aids, if you want, in the lack of depth, I will say, of that relationship. To do that, okay, is a survival mood, and yes, you use a lot of energy, but it's not a permanent healing. The permanent healing here will be to take the time, okay, to explore what really is going on in you as a woman. What will be the price for you to open your heart fully and share with your partner your true unattraction, let's say, your true lack of passion for your husband or your partner, and to put that on the table without having to fix it, but that's an act of love in the sense that that's what is here, if that is the case, okay? I'm supposing here. I'm putting myself in the shoes of this kind of scenario, okay? So if you could, let's say, use this opportunity, this experience, okay, to realize that you are not in alignment, that you are really in survival mood, that you are generating and creating more and more separation instead of more and more oneness, that is the potential of every intimate relationship, to discover levels of union and trust and comfort, engaging with each other. More and more experiences on that level. It's like unlimited. There is no limit to see, to be curious about where the real love between two human beings, can take you. Okay, but for us to do that, you have, and this is my tip for you, okay, if this is your case or you feel identified with something like this, you do have to take care of yourself, and you have to find that intimate relationship with yourself where you honor where you are, where you love yourself exactly where you are, This is not an accident. For you to don't feel attraction to your partner means something. There has to be some kind of wound or some kind of lack of connection in the present time with your partner that you can open up to it. Yes, it will mean that you show your vulnerability, you don't have everything under control, you don't are the perfect one. All these taboos, that we come out, pretending to be or needing to be, so we get something from the outside. I think it's time for all of us women here to use this unconsciousness to wake us up. And we can, like in this case, to me, I think I'm, how can you, sit down, really feel respect for this situation, okay, and be willing to express and discover and explore and deepening into what is really going on for you to be capable, open to love yourself deeply, so you can love your partner equally deeply. Now, this is what I call the journey from the unconscious feminine to the divine feminine, to the conscious feminine, where you are conscious of your feminine essence, your feminine needs, and what nurtures you, what doesn't, what you enjoy, what you don't. I also want to say something that happened to me in my life, so maybe can inspire you to realize that is a potential for growth, okay? But in my childhood, I experienced abandonment from my dad. When I was around 6 months old, between 6 and 1 year and a half, my parents divorced and was kind of losing really my dad, in quote. And it's not someone that I knew intellectually or anything like that. I was a super baby, but the wound of losing, that image, that sense, of my dad at home was probably a big, strong, input in my own consciousness, and I carried that wound, missing my dad. My dad was far away, so I always had the tendency to not hold intimate relationship for too long, because that's what I learned. It's so simple, it's like that's what I learned. So I had a lot of intimate relationships when I was very young, teenager and stuff, that were 1 year and a half period. Every 1 year and a half something happened that I let go of the guy, or the guy let me go, or whatever it was, and I didn't know that, but I went through a lot of pain and abandonment. That is probably what I felt when I was, 1 year old, but I was not conscious enough to be present for it. I was totally sucked into the pain, and we release the pain when we feel it, okay? So it's not about intellectually understanding what happened. I went through a lot of abandonments in my life, separations, divorce, until I arrived to a point when I said, okay, that's it, it's not outside anymore. What is really going on inside me? And I needed to, and I did, to face my deepest wound that was really about abandonment. And when I face it, I sit down with me in my descent, in quotes, and to really say, okay, what is this pain that I don't want to feel, I don't even know how to feel? And what I discovered was that abandonment, in quotes, doesn't matter the label, but the sensation of totally alone, like nobody there for me to rescue, to do anything with me, and to really abandon and alone, And when I could surrender to that, really everything got transformed in such a peaceful, fulfilled, interesting experience that suddenly I was, not anymore in the need of acting out this automatic program that was creating abandonment after abandonment. So, one way of relating here with this situation, let's say, if your husband is asking you for more sex than you are willing to do, maybe there is something that you can work inside yourself, and I'm saying that to the woman because I put my shoes in that woman right now, but I would like to open up the space and to explore, what is the journey of the masculine in this situation, right? My partner is demanding me more more sex, okay? So maybe we let this topic for the next episode because it's kind of deep also, but I want to let you with the curiosity of it, but it's in an equal important journey. And for now, for this week, I would love you to just allow yourself to feel compassion and be very gentle with whatever obstacle that you have in your intimacy, in your intimate relationship, to engage with it as a gift, as an opportunity for your growth. And when you grow in intimacy here, you have more capacity to offer intimacy there with your partner. When you are comfortable with a decision that you make for you and you really ground that comfort, for example, it's 10 times easier to share that with your partner without the need of approval or the fear of judgment or whatever. It's just what it is. So we are learning here how to be very, very loving, very conscious and aware of what is really going on, not what I would like from my head to do it. Like from our head, I can understand this woman say, well, less problem if I just open my legs and okay, do it, whatever, quick, done, and next day you wake up, breakfast, school the kids or whatever is your situation, and come back, but you don't face the problem. You don't take the time to face the problem. I also want to say that today is 10 times easier than 1 year ago, 10 years ago, or 100 years ago. Can you imagine? I mean, we are much more open, much more conscious and familiar with psychology, with understanding what's going on inside us. So take the time to explore. And if you need support, well, you know that I am here with this kind of language to really allow your spirit to bring the light that you are, that your spirit is, okay, to all these kind of shadows and limitations and wounds, and they dissolve. So become more of who you truly are to express that in your life. And what I would like to invite you right now is, if you are not in my mailing list, I would like you to go to drmonica.com, DOCTOR Monica.com, for you to get what I call the Worthiness Kit. Is a free gift that I offer to build up your sense of worthiness. As women, we all have this kind of material, subconscious material that hold us back, that is related with our value, with our rights to be who we are in the moment, even like to vibrate in the value in being worthy of what you want, worthy of wonderful intimate relationships that we are seeing in this case, that of course you can change, inside, and your relationship can change. And if you change inside and the relationship doesn't change parallel, let's say, that relationship maybe ends, but you start to build up a strong, honest, deep, intimate relationship with yourself, that whoever is ready to vibrate in this level of depth will meet you there. Okay, so let's see what we do this week in the sense of embracing as women our feminine side, that yes, from the wounded area, is dependent, afraid of being alone, afraid of being rejected, pleasing to cover up all these fears that we have here and wounds that we have. So we abuse ourselves tremendously, and that's what we can stop right here and now. Stop the abuse, love yourself, acknowledge where you are, because that's your growth, that's your path, okay? And support yourself in this direction. Thank you so much, and see you next week. I love you.